Hi there, Hot Tops. I am Marcus Boston, the producer of High Off the Glass with Oh the Great. I want to thank you for listening to High Off the Glass. Hope you're enjoying the marriage of basketball and marijuana. Please follow the show on Instagram at High Off the Glass, and that is High Off the Glass, THA, not THE. On Twitter at _glass. Follow our gracious and well-informed host, Oh the Great, on Twitter at Oh the Great. Once again, that the is THA, not THE. Follow him on Instagram at Oh the Great _. Also follow the show on Facebook at High Off the Glass. And if you're feeling old school, you want to give us an email, it's highofftheglass@gmail.com. So please share, tag, comment, and DM the show with any kind of questions, conversations, even when we be on the show. You know, we are very quick with responding, and let's keep building our community. Okay? That's enough of me. Enjoy the show.
High Off the Glass is presented to you by ACME Industries, with nuggets so green they glow in the dark. This is High Off the Glass, coming at you from the hardwood in Soulard, featuring your host, Oh the Great.
All right, we are here, episode 4. We made it, y'all. NBA Finals preview. Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
Man, we have made it. I'm so excited. Finals preview. We got our two teams. We got Toronto. We got Golden State. Unfortunately, we have a Golden State fan in the house today.
Damn.
But we are also honored to have my brother from another mother, my boy, a recording artist, y'all. Second one to High Off the Glass. We're honored to have him. Rodney Michael. Everybody give it up for Rodney Michael.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. What's up? Let's go Warriors. Let's go.
Let's get, oh, God.
It's the town, baby.
But yeah, we got, no doubt, the town. There you go.
Town.
We got Rodney Michael here. This is a real life recording artist, everybody. He has his own album. I think this is his second or third.
This is my second album.
Second album coming out?
It's coming out, man.
Oh, wow.
Very
This is
nice.
We're going to jump into that,
Congrats.
too. You also hear Mr. Advertiser over here. We have our man, Mr. Master of Mischief, Marshal White is in the house. What's up, Marshal?
Oh, that's me. Thanks a lot.
What's up, dude? You
Thanks for
doing good?
having me here, Oh.
I'm happy to have you. You know I'm happy to have you. You got my boy, Mr. Boston in the background, DJ, doing his thing. Yeah, I'm a dap. Okay, am I air dap you because you don't want to dap me? Man, the man won't even dap me. What type of mess? But yeah, we are
Put
doing
a
it.
fake fist right
Right, like,
there.
boom. He couldn't even give me a pity dap. Not even a pity. What in the world? But yeah, we are here. I'm so excited. Tell me about, before we jump into what we do here at High Off the Glass, cannabis and basketball, where hemps and hoop unite.
Boom.
Where blunts and baskets come together. We're going to talk to Mr. Mr. Rodney Michael over here.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
me about this album. This is the second.
The second one, man.
Wow.
It's called Dichotome. You know,
Okay.
and it's sort of like sort of what I'm doing now.
Right.
Dichotomy deals with how two different sides of yourself can exist in the same body.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times when you think about it, you know, I grew up watching cartoons, used to love Bugs Bunny, used to love all that type of stuff.
Right.
And you remember when Bugs Bunny would be doing something, you had the angel over here,
Yeah.
and you got the devil over here.
Yeah.
And they both got the equal amount of influence on what they want you to do.
Right.
So when you think of dichotomy, you think of that's how we are.
Yeah.
You know, you always have those, man, should I do this? You know, should I bang her? You know, should I do this?
Do I pass
should
or
go
do I
on?
shoot? Do I shoot? Do I dunk or
There
do I
it
lay
is.
it up?
There it is. He's open. Should I give him the ball or should I go ahead and pull up? You know, something like that.
Yeah.
It's just a
Should I
side of
pass?
a
Should I
side of
shoot?
yeah. Should I pass? Should I shoot?
Right.
Should I give up the rock? Should I come
Right.
out the game? You
Right.
know,
Should I go
stay
mess
on
with
the
her or
floor?
no?
Should I
Yeah.
mess with her or no when I
Yeah.
got my honey at home? All of that.
Right.
All of that. You know, what
Getting
I'm
honest
saying?
early out this month. Okay. All right. We're getting honest early.
Hey, that's the only way to be, man.
That's
you
true.
know? The only way to be, you know?
It is.
So and this kind of birth out
Right.
of what happened with what happened with my sister. And
Right.
kind of like,
right.
you know what?
Right.
Some things just weren't as I believed. So
Mhm.
I had to sort of reinvent myself.
Right.
So I reinvented myself, and I was originally doing mostly like gospel music, but then that kind of switched,
Okay.
to more of an inspirational type of hip hop feel.
That's what I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
because I know you started, and it's crazy, having a tragedy happen can do that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
funny how life works like that. But I know you started off as a gospel artist.
That's right.
That's how.
That's right.
Say the name of the first album. Plug the first album.
It was More.
More album is
More.
awesome. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
my daughter loves that album so much.
My Bella.
That album was great. Oh my, dude, you are number one. She's your number one fan. All day.
I know. I love Bella.
Yes,
for that.
sir. Thank you, sir.
If all my fans can be like Bella, we'll be rich up here.
You ain't lying, bro. You would be. but what's the
spread
name?
the wealth.
Right, exactly.
What was the name of that album?
It's
Is
called
it on
More.
Spotify?
More. It's on More. MORE.
Yeah.
MORE.
And
Yeah.
that's
On
got the
Spotify,
real.
It's on
YouTube.
Spotify. It's on
Amazon?
iTunes. It's all of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to that as soon as this is
Yeah.
over, brother.
And
You should.
you'll be surprised because all the music that I do, it's sort of it has a hip hop background. I mean, my mom, I think she's only listened to like one song because all the other stuff she
Yeah.
can't vibe with.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't my vision, and sort of it's not what I wanted to do with music.
Right.
So when I was creating Dichotome, it just went to a whole nother phase after my sister ascended to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I just said, you know what? I'm just going all out. So I had my little brother hit me with some beats. The first song you heard.
went to. Oh wow.
I went to him, man.
Yeah, like what does he go by? Does he go by his real name, or what does he go by?
I call him Chop. So.
Okay, Chop, who is a Grammy-winning producer,
Grammy-winning producer.
produces a lot of hip hop artists that are out there and known.
Right.
We don't know them, but they out there.
They out there.
And, I mean, what is
They've
it?
been working
His
with him.
name's in the liner notes.
You know what the crazy
There it
part
is.
is?
He won an Emmy.
This man's brother slash producer, because I guess he gave him some beats for the new album
That's
from
right.
Dichotome. He was just on. This is a true story. Was just on the Tonight Show with Trippie Redd
And Jimmy Fallon.
a
that's
few
right.
a few weeks
Wow.
ago.
A
Well,
few
no,
months ago.
a month ago,
Yeah.
playing the piano while
Playing
Trippie
the
Redd was
piano,
doing
man.
doing the lyrics.
Man,
It was
dope.
amazing.
We was watching that. We
He
was
killed
like,
it.
Look at this dude.
Right, he
Smashing. I
killed.
remember when he used to sit on the piano bench with me.
Right,
And now this dude
right.
is on Jimmy
Seeing him getting in the
freaking
church,
Fallon.
and now look at on
Yeah.
national TV just doing it.
National TV doing it.
This is my question though. What made you? Because okay, you said More. Because when I heard More, I got a big gospel feel for it. You said it had a little bit of the bit of the hip hop to it.
And you could tell. Could you tell? I think that when you listen to it,
Yeah.
So I'm putting my plug out there for being being reinvited. So
Right. Yes, sir. Please, you are coming back.
future shows, so we
Yes,
can know
yes,
what you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that the music, not just the music, but the words were sort of it was hidden underneath as far as it being true gospel.
Okay.
I mean, you could sing to it and actually you could feel like I'm not really in church. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Because I didn't use Jesus in any of my songs.
Right.
You notice that?
Wow.
You
I
notice it?
didn't.
When next time you listen to it, you're
Yeah.
like, you know what?
Yeah.
He's not just pushing
Full
the Jesus
disclosure,
agenda.
I
Exactly.
did not hear the whole album,
Right.
so that's why that's why I'm asking these questions. I have not heard the whole thing. But what made you? Was it just a tragedy with? Man, we miss Miss Ewing so much.
I know.
With teasing. Was it the tragedy with your sister that made you go
It was a
influential?
tragedy.
Wow. Okay.
If you want me to get into it, I don't know how much time we have. If you
We got time.
Okay,
We got
cool.
time.
I can start back in 2016 because that's when the album started.
Okay.
It started with I was working on some songs,
Mhm.
and then the producer I was working with, he got sick,
Mm.
and we weren't able to go into the studio for like maybe 15 months. And,
Oh wow.
And I don't want to fast forward into that, but 2016 is when it started.
Okay.
And this is gonna trip you out. February 22nd, my son's mother passed away.
Yes.
Mm.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah, so that was tough, and I was like, yeah, because she'd been a friend of, he's
Right.
20, he'll be 28.
Right. I totally forgot
All
that.
for 28 years, it's like
Yeah.
a very good friend of mine, and she
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah, wow.
A year later,
Yeah.
February 22nd,
Man.
another very close friend of mine had passed away. She had an aneurysm, and it's someone at the church that I grew up in.
What?
Yeah,
What's all this
yeah,
February
Natalie.
22nd?
and that's what I'm saying. So 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
February 22nd, the three closest women other than my mom in my life and my wife. I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah. Right. Yeah,
Well,
shout-
actually,
shout-
no, I take that back. Rodney Michael ain't married. Rodney Michael.
It's a little late, bro. It's a little late.
But 3 years in a row,
Right.
man. February 22nd was that day.
Right.
And I remember being at the hospital, February 22nd, and it did
Yeah,
not
we all was
dawn on
there.
me. It did
Yeah.
not dawn on me till the doctor came in. I kept the faith and I kept believing through that, through what
Yeah.
everyone else was saying. And
Yeah.
it did not dawn on me till the doctor's like, she's not going to leave this room. So that
Wow.
that just questioned everything in me. I was like,
Right.
I know what I believed, and it just didn't happen, And there were some things that Ray shared with me before she passed away, as far as when she came out of the coma the second time.
And just to let everybody know,
Yeah.
that was the last tragedy on February 22nd. That's when his sister,
2018.
my sister, passed away.
That's our sister.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
and we're gonna get into basketball pretty soon, people.
Yeah. No, we good. Do your thing.
Okay, so anyway, it was right around then when she came out the second time. You remember she had gave her little testimony in the church, and we always used to go see her and we just sit with her when she was under.
Right.
And I would go in and I would sing to her,
Right.
And when she came out about a month later, and it was just me and her in the hospital room.
Yeah.
She came out a month later and she gave her testimony, and she was in the church, and then she looked at me while I was on the piano and she said, "I really thank you for singing to me."
Wow.
And I had no idea she heard me. And I've heard that before, that if
Yeah.
someone's in a coma, if you sing to them or if you talk to them, they can hear it.
Yup.
And that was
Yup.
the proof
Yup.
right there when she said, when she verbally spoke to me and said, "I thank you for singing to me."
Wow.
So I'm like, this is going to be dope. We're working on the album now.
Right.
I'm working on the song that I was singing to her. It's going to be on the album. She'll be able to hear it.
Right.
And then boom, February 22nd came. And that's when it just hit me so hard. I was like, she won't be able to hear this song,
I hear
so
you.
what was that?
Yeah.
So it allowed me to refocus and kind of
You had to recalibrate the whole album.
Recalibrate the whole
Yeah,
album.
I could tell.
All of that. So I'm like, it's got to take a life of its own now. It's got to do something different
That's
now.
awesome.
And it has to be different from. If you notice, I haven't preached since that day either.
Yeah.
This is my new sermon.
Yeah.
The new album.
Dichotome
Rodney
is your
Dichotome.
dichotomy.
That is.
Check it out,
So,
y'all.
yeah, it's
Check
coming
it out.
out June 16th. That's my birthday, so that's when it'll be out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's your birthday?
June
Happy
16th.
birthday,
Wow,
man.
Right on.
If
June
Tupac
birthdays.
was alive, we would be the exact same age, because he was born June 16th too.
Oh, snap. I'm learning all stuff about my brother today. Dang. Okay,
That's
right
what's
on,
up,
Rodney
bro.
Michael.
That's what's up.
Okay, and we
Yeah.
never do nothing for your birthday. That's,
You know what? And for some reason, and that's going to change this year.
that needs to change. Yeah, we got to
'cause-
have a release party.
And not just that,
Yeah.
I was always hesitant on celebrating the birthday. I don't know why.
Why is that?
That's what I'm saying. It's changing this year.
Yeah, you should never. You should
Yeah.
always want to celebrate that. That's another
Yeah.
life above ground.
You're
That's
right.
another
Another
day.
year,
That's
another
another
day, all
year
that.
of a gift that God gave
That's
you.
right. That's
You know,
what's
you
up.
got to celebrate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So starting this year
Yeah.
with the album release,
Yeah.
all
I know.
the family, everybody, we're gonna do it.
Just to bring it back to that last point, I know what you're talking about, because sometimes I don't feel like celebrating because it's like, oh, it's not that big a deal. It's just another year. No, you need to be thankful that you are still breathing, because there's a lot of people that don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I think Sunray, Teasy, all the nicknames, it's all my sister.
No doubt.
What that taught us, you
No
know what
doubt.
I'm saying? We need
Yeah.
to celebrate more, celebrate the fact that we're
Yes.
alive and living more.
Yes.
I will be 48, which is the same age she was when she passed away. So that's
Oh,
a big
wow.
thing. So I'm going to celebrate that.
Wow,
You know what I'm saying?
yes, yes. Oh, so many levels.
That's
okay.
right, bro.
Wow,
Yeah.
there's so many ways I could go with that. There's so many places I could go,
Yeah.
man. But I don't want to ignore the Mr. Mischief over here.
That's
know-
right.
I know-
Whoa, you're not ignoring me. I'm listening to this great
Right.
stuff. That's an
You-
inspiring story.
Thank
of
you, man. I
love,
appreciate it.
man.
I appreciate
Absolutely,
it.
and dedication. I'm really impressed. By the way, he's 10 years older than me. You're 47 now. You'll be 48 June
That's right.
16th. I'll be 38 on June 4th.
See, and it's-
Every time.
It's Gemini season,
yeah,
baby.
June's in the
Yeah.
house.
What's up?
June's in, hey, he's trying to dap you. He's
Don't
trying
leave
to
me
dap
hanging.
Every time I have a birthday, seriously, I'm so happy because I feel older and smarter and wiser. And,
I like that. I want to feel
It
smarter.
keeps
Yeah,
getting better every
should.
time. It just keeps getting better.
Exactly.
Like everyone told me that 37 was going to be a meaningless birthday. Nobody remembers their 37th birthday.
It's meaningful.
I had an incredible 37th birthday.
Exactly.
It was a blast.
Exactly.
That's what's up.
I mean, the Beatles said it. It's getting better all the time. It just
Yeah,
is. It's just
yeah.
if you can have a somewhat of a positive mindset or outlook and just keep doing the right thing and doing what God tells you to do, or doing something positive,
Yep.
you will be all right.
You will.
You know,
You will.
it's getting better all the time.
It will be better.
I mean,
You
it
gotta,
will.
You got to believe that.
You do.
Yeah.
And you have to physically work towards it.
That's
It's not
right.
just going to happen on its own.
You know who's been physically working towards greatness for about 7 or 8 years right
I
now?
already know what you're about to go with there. Well, who? Kawhi?
Kawhi Leonard? I was going to talk about Steph Curry's ankles.
Yes, sir.
We forget about
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Get it, baby.
I believe it was the year 2012. Steph Curry signed a 4-year, $44 million deal.
That's right.
Yeah,
And everyone thought, I don't know if he's worth that.
Dude, everybody
I
back
don't know.
then, before you even gave a damn about Golden State, don't front. It was.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, you know that's true. It
Not
was
like this.
Yeah, you didn't give a shit about Golden State. Don't front, Rod. Do not front. Back then, it was who do we keep, Monte Ellis or Steph Curry? Which one is it?
Yeah.
Which one is it? It's
Now,
so
I knew
funny.
about that. I didn't care about it like I did now.
You
Come on.
didn't give a damn about Golden State.
See, I always rep Steph now. Don't shock on me.
Bro,
Don't
you
flake
did not.
on me.
Real talk. I do not remember you repping Steph until maybe that first final. Like real talk. I'm not going front, dude. I'm not going front. I do not remember you.
54-point game when he was in New York at the Madison Square Garden. I text everybody.
He had 54 wins.
Madison Square Garden.
What year was
Is
this?
this 2014?
It was 2012. It was 2012.
He had 54
yeah.
points in the
He had
Mecca.
54 points in Madison Square Garden. They lost that game to the Knicks. That's when the
Word?
Knicks was in the playoffs.
You know what's sad?
Where your history at, bro?
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you what my history is. Why don't we call that place the Mecca? And they've been so shitty for so long.
And that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? And I guess the only reason we call MSG the Mecca is because New York City is
New
like
York City.
basketball.
New
They
York
are
City.
basketball, but come on now, MSG. I'm going somewhere else.
We don't
with it.
need to call it that.
He had.
I would rather call Boston Garden the Mecca, even though that feels sacrilegious to
It
me.
should. It should. You're right though.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it makes
come on
more
now.
sense.
16 championships?
Oh my goodness, no! Try 18, bro. Try 18. We have more than anybody. LA is behind us with 17.
And the
you're
Warriors,
right, you're right.
the Warriors are enjoying the moment, but the Knicks are saturating themselves in nostalgia.
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
They-
2012.
That's
though,
why we
Steph
call.
Curry.
That's why we call them the
He had
Mecca.
54?
54 points that game.
Okay, I almost want to look that. You need to
You
start
got to.
look that up like you were looking up stuff last episode when you was on the first. You was looking up every damn thing. You need to look that
Yeah.
up. But let's forget old 2014, 2012 Steph. We're going to talk about right now, Steph. I know where
Right.
you're at. Let's just get it out right now, y'all. Everybody, let's get it all out.
Get it out.
Right now. We know who you got.
And-
Who you got?
and-
Y'all in what?
and Golden State. If Kevin Durant does not play, I say we win in 5.
Okay.
If Kevin Durant does play, that gives Toronto an extra game. I think we'll win in 6.
Whoa!
It's a
look
big
at that
adjustment,
math.
man.
Look at
It's a
that
big
math.
adjustment.
With the best player in the game coming back, you think Toronto will win a game?
Yes, because that's going to mess up
Will
the flow
win
of the
more
offense.
than one game.
That's going to mess up the offense.
Ah.
Steph is not a, and I don't want to. I got to be careful how I say this.
Aggressive.
He's not an alpha male.
Yeah. Yeah.
He likes to
I
play.
don't
Steph
know.
is more important. It's more important to him to win.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he'll share the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their offensive philosophies change quite a bit with Kevin Durant
That's-
in the
And
game.
exactly.
It's
and that's what I'm
very
getting
like
at.
they run a lot of high post through Durant and Curry. They do an express motion offense. The
He's
ball
always
and the
moving. Him and
flow
Clay.
and the
Yeah,
movement
it's
between
different.
Clay and Draymond is fundamentally altered when KD is in,
You're
and
correct.
that's not a bad thing.
Right.
I know. He's
I
he's
disagree
the
with
best
your
player
alpha.
in the game.
I disagree with that. I think that dude, like they call him the babyface assassin. I think behind closed
Oh,
doors on the bench, he gets in their ass.
You think
I
so?
really think, and he may not be the leader of the team. We know that's Draymond, or he's not the vocal leader.
Draymond's
That's
the
Draymond.
fire of the team.
He's the fire.
And
He's the heart.
that's
He's
Draymond.
all that.
But Steph,
But I think Steph is an alpha, but I don't think he puts it on Front Street like some other people do.
I would do
You know
like
what I'm
I would say it like this. Steph is the engine. Like if you look at a Porsche,
Yeah.
you won't look at the inside of the car as this is the prettiest
Yeah.
aspect of the car. You
Right,
look at the
right.
body and say, "Oh, that's a Porsche and it looks beautiful."
Yeah, yeah.
Even though the engine is so powerful, it's
You
hidden
need-
and it's
you need
secluded.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
yeah.
Steph is.
You think that's
Kevin
what, yeah.
Durant is the outside body. He's the Porsche. He's
Yeah.
like, look at that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's KD.
I don't know, but Steph has beauty to his game too. But let me get to mischief over here. Who do you who do you have and in what game?
I have Toronto in 7.
Ooh, I love that take. I love that take.
I
Toronto
gotta
in
hear
7.
why. I gotta hear why.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Man, this is the finals.
Definitely.
You know,
And I tell you what was shocking to me, and I pay attention to the NBA. That's my shit. Toronto has a better record than y'all.
of course.
They have home
But-
court.
I'll
It's
tell
about
you
one game. It's only about
why.
one
You know who
game.
you know who I never
It's only
vote
about one
against.
game.
It's home court.
You know who I would never bet against?
Kawhi.
Oh.
The GOAT, Michael Jordan.
Jordan play?
And you know who's in rarefied company with Michael Jordan?
Kawhi.
Kawhi Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
Averaging
Wow.
31 points, 62.3 true shooting percentage with 8 rebounds, 3 assists. The only person to ever put up those kind of numbers, LeBron James 2 times, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar once.
I knew you were going to say Kareem.
The only people to ever finish a final run
Go,
averaging 30 points with at least 60% true shooting. Only 5 other people have ever even done this in the playoffs, and they didn't even make it to the finals.
Now, I do agree with your stats. I do like the stats, but we also have to look into the history of the players that you mentioned. LeBron did it, and we know how much of the offense LeBron ran. Maybe 85% of the offense was all LeBron. You said Kareem. Kareem did it when in the era when basketball was, it was much rougher. I say the talent level was probably not as good, but you had guys who were playing serious basketball.
Oh, yeah, grown man basketball.
Like you come into the hole, you get knocked on your ass.
You're gonna get bloody. You're gonna get bloody.
And physical therapy was an ice pack after the game.
Exactly.
And that is it.
So it's a much difficult, much harder era when Kareem played. And we know, come on now, for the last 5-6 years, how weak the East is. Come on.
The East has come up though. You can't use that excuse no more.
It came up this year.
Michael, you cannot. Come on, man. You cannot.
Still not as good. As good as still not nowhere near as good as the West.
To me, it has to be because look who has the home court advantage in the damn NBA Finals. Like, come on, man. I'm not saying it's total. It's every team on the East stacks up with every team on the West, but we've obviously gotten better, and that gap has sincerely closed.
You know why it got better? Because the greatest player in the East went to the West.
I'm glad he did.
Kawhi saw that. He was like, you know what? I think I'd have a better chance. And he's smart for this. I respect Kawhi.
He didn't make He got traded to Toronto.
I know, but that was his only option.
It wasn't his only option.
He wanted to go to LA.
He wanted to go to LA. He didn't want to go to.
The Spurs refused to send him to a Western Conference team. So they
didn't
sent
have
him.
an option.
They sent him to the Eastern Conference.
He just got sent to a good spot. That's all that was.
Getting DeMar DeRozan was a good trade too, and that up and coming center. What was it? Jacob.
That the Spurs got?
I can't pronounce his name. Poeltl?
I don't know.
Poeltl?
I don't think it. I think
I'm trying to think his name. Too.
It was a decent trade, but obviously Toronto got the better. I mean, they got
we're saying
Kawhi
that now. We're saying that
go
now.
Spurs,
they got the better.
go.
But I think it's because the East was really as weak. I mean,
I don't think
Boston let everybody down.
They did.
What happened there?
God,
Philly.
The main reason I think this is why I think Toronto in 7. Giannis.
Yeah.
Who did they just beat?
Giannis. Yeah.
I mean,
if you can shut down that toolbox of a player,
it's easy to shut him down without a jump shot.
No, it's not. It's not
a jump shot.
It's not easy.
Can Steph Curry and Klay Thompson hit 30-foot 3-pointers 4 games in a row?
Of course.
Maybe.
Maybe.
They can do it for 7 games.
But
I've seen it.
I think
we both have.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard managed to shut down that guard
Kyle
duo.
stepped up. Kyle's been stepping up.
I'm sorry.
If they can shut down that duo with
Kyle
lockdown
has
defense,
stepped the hell up.
This is a wingspan of like
this
7 feet.
Right.
This is my
come on now
moniker for Kyle Low Fatry because that dude.
Damn. That's a low blow. That's a low. That brother's trying.
He's a nuisance on the court. I give him that. He played hard to get to the
He's
finals.
not Patrick Beverly. The dude has game, bro. He has offensive game. He's a good point guard.
Pascal Siakam, most improved player.
I'm more afraid of Van Vliet. It's Van Vliet, not Van Fleet.
Van Vliet.
I'm more afraid
Wichita
of him.
State, Van Fleet. Mr. March Madness magic.
You fear him more. You fear him more because he has that jumper. His jumper is better than Kyle's. But
Fred
Kyle,
VanVleet has shot 90% from 3-point since his son was born.
His son's birth.
Something you said earlier. Something you said earlier. To make your point about
90s,
that's sick.
92%.
That's ridiculous. Since that baby popped out, that's awesome.
That's what beat.
That's awesome.
Milwaukee.
They did. In Game 6, it did. In
Game 5, since he came back, the
yeah,
in
Game 5.
Game 5,
yeah,
he
5.
hit 7 of them.
5 and 6. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
He was like 7 for 8, wasn't he?
But what did you mean earlier when you said? And this is something they say now. This was not something said in the 90s. True shooting. What the fuck is that? True shooting.
True shooting.
I'm glad you brought that up, sir.
Can we just say efficient shooting? Like, what is true shooting percentage?
True shooting percentage is an advanced basketball player metric. This is something the entire league is using to evaluate talent. What it does is it calculates your player's shooting.
Can we have a lot of players
with their field goal percentage, free throw percentage, and 3-point field goal percentage taken like all together.
It combines all three?
This is analytical.
This is
term,
this is
right?
a way to
analytics.
this is a way that if you use this formula, you can actually see and measure this. Okay.
What's the formula? What is it?
The
Each
formula-
percentage of each,
Well,
all
the
those
formula
stats
is to equal the true shooting percentage. You have to take the amount of points someone scores
Right.
and divide that by the field goal attempts plus the free throw attempts plus 0.44. 0.44 is a very indicative number here. What that means is it accounts for the value of a 2-point shot versus a 3-point shot.
Okay.
And then you multiply that number, divide it by the points scored, times 100, and that is how you get true shooting percentage.
How do they get
And
the 0.44 though?
the
Like, is it-
0.44, great question. The coefficient 0.44 is usually
I'm a math
adjusted.
guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why I'm being
looking
quiet.
like, what the hell?
I'm
is
being
this
quiet. I am not an engineer. That's you. And he can read good, so y'all have at it. No shit, the fuck.
So there is some debate about the value of the
0.44?
coefficient.
Yeah.
Because in the 80s, the coefficient was actually doesn't
It
exist
didn't
because the
back then,
3-point
because
line
the
didn't
3-point
happen.
line, and
Okay,
it was a
so how
they had a
desperation
3-point
shot.
line
It was
in
a
the 80s?
desperation shot. It wasn't shot as much.
Yeah, the 3-point
Yeah, it
line
wasn't.
didn't
It
come in
wasn't.
until
Yeah.
like 79 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
In
yeah.
70, they came
So-
in late,
80, I think
and
it
then
was 80.
Cats
So the
didn't
70.
shoot it
Yeah, they
because
didn't. Yeah.
unless you were like down 4 with 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to shoot a 3.
Yeah.
There were games, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but there were games where Isaiah Thomas talked about it, Magic talked about it. It's like we didn't shoot a 3 for a whole week.
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine that now?
Yeah.
Try to tell Houston that.
Oh my goodness.
Don't shoot a 3 for a whole week.
And that's the problem right there.
Larry Bird led the league in 3-point shots one year. I think was 64.
Yep.
I was about to say, I thought it was 62.
That's
Steph
like
gets that in a week.
that's
like,
a week.
Literally,
of Steph
that's
Curry.
a week of Steph. And Larry did that for the whole
season.
Like his high, that like Larry's 3 points attempted high is literally what Steph does in a week.
Oh,
I've
I
seen
know.
that number. Like it's stupid. But here's
Crazy.
okay, and I'm with him. I'm with you guys on the analytics, and what he says is it makes sense. But let's just look at it like this. Let's be honest. You take a team like you take a GM president like Daryl Morey for Houston, who his only focus is that.
The 3-point shot.
You look at a team like the Oakland A's, where what's his name?
Billy Bean.
Billy Bean's only focus is that. What have they won? Like, what have they gotten? Like they haven't.
Great. I'm totally glad you brought this up. You know
thing.
you know
Like the Rockets
who
haven't
has
made the
one?
conference finals.
You know who took the
once.
principles of Billy Bean
Dude.
and applied them successfully
and one who?
and won? I'm going to call the Boston Red Sox to the table.
Oh yeah, they did. Yep, you're right.
They sure
You're
did.
right about that. They
That
sure the hell did.
manager took
They
every
sure
bit of
did.
those principles, and you know what he did?
Marshall.
He had an owner willing to spend real money.
in order to get that
And
talent.
you know what
up in
Billy
there.
Bean doesn't have?
The owner that spent real money. But see, this is what Boston did though. This is what, and I hate. I hate that baseball team so much. I
You don't
really
like the
do.
Red Sox?
Oh, at all, with a passion. Oh, I can't stand.
Now, I
it.
respected him this year because of Mookie. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I can't.
I think he's probably one of the best athletes to ever. He's probably second to Steph.
Give me Yanks and
but he's
cards
probably
all
one
day.
of the best.
I can't do it. I have a thing about it. That will be a future episode.
No, I didn't say I like the Red. I cleared up. I said I,
know,
respect
you
him
respect him, yeah.
because of Mookie, and I like what he's doing in the community. And I think the brother's really, really talented.
He's good.
He's an excellent bowler.
That's good.
That's what I got you in. But anyway,
Okay.
moving on.
But what the
Baseball is like ping pong to me.
This-
It's not an invasion sport.
Yeah.
I want an active sport.
You know?
it's that. Okay, I don't want to have that argument, but
Soccer is an invasion sport. Basketball is an invasion sport. Football,
Invasion.
I've never heard invasion is mixed in with sports.
Put it
before.
that way. I like it.
I
agree with that,
Yeah,
though.
I guess.
Because there's too many
Again, this
open
is analyst
positions.
stuff.
There's too many open positions in baseball where it can be like that.
Okay.
I mean, if you focus on just your shortstop or your
Yeah.
second base where you have or center field
Yeah.
where you have the most activity, then you say, oh yeah, it could be exciting. But people are hitting players generally they're hitting the ball all over the field, so you're going to have that disparity as far as what talent is being used on the baseball diamond. So
Hey, let's put the numbers up on the big board. Rodney, Golden State in
5 or 6.
Toronto in 7. Oh, the great.
Hold on, I didn't finish my Boston point. I want to say my Boston point. The reason why I think the Red Sox win is because they don't follow just analytics. They get good players too. They don't go just. That's Houston's problem. That's why the Rockets will continue to fail because number one, because they put their faith in two losers.
I was going to say
career losers.
Undersized point guard Chris Paul.
They don't gel well together.
I think they did better this year. They definitely did better this year than as opposed to last. But I think
because of fewer games. You got less games on the court. You're not gonna like each other.
I don't know. I just think they put too much emphasis. But I saw that. I heard that baseball player coming out of you. So you know what I'm saying. when we have a baseball show, you will be back for that. Good God, that baseball's coming out. But Marshall made a good point.
My second alter ego could do it all.
Right.
Baseball, bowling.
I see
soccer.
You, bro. You love that shit.
Ping pong. He said
soccer
ping pong.
too?
I can play ping pong too, man.
Okay, yeah. That's.
I have a killer serve.
He suffers.
You slice it or do you spin it?
Rodney Michael, as everybody can tell, suffers from whatever that disease is where you think you're great at everything. That's Mr. Michael.
Jack of all trades, master of one.
Right, master of mischief. Okay, so he said his. Who do you got? You got Toronto and 7.
Toronto and 7.
What do I have? I have.
Bro.
Man.
I know you're gonna go with us.
Oh my goodness. I'm just to be right. But to be different. I'm gonna go with Dubs in 7. I got Golden State in 7. I don't know how it's gonna get to 7. I don't know how in the world that's gonna happen, but that's who I got.
Vegas thinks it's gonna be a sweep.
Vegas has sweep?
Golden State
they
sweep?
do?
Yeah, if you bet 400 on Golden State to win in 4, you only win $420. Okay. No.
I'm
sorry. I did the math wrong. You win $280.
Damn, right.
You didn't get it. It's
Right, you don't even get the money back.
No, you get your money back. But you get $280 with that $400 that you bet.
Oh, well, that's not bad. You sure?
Are you serious? That's terrible.
I don't think
a Vegas bet?
All right.
That's not.
To give you a contrast,
if you bet
400 on Toronto to sweep and Toronto sweeps, that's $100,000.
Yeah.
Toronto is plus 2,500 to sweep.
I think
what I'm saying is it will not happen.
Yeah.
We're both more likely to get hit by a lightning strike right now, all three of us, than that. Okay.
No clouds in the sky.
Right, and we're in the house. We're recording in the studio. We're in the glass court right now.
You would know there's a creator.
Oh my goodness, dear God, don't ever let that happen. I never want to get electrocuted inside of a building, like lightning inside. Oh my goodness, that'd be too much. But I see what you're saying, and I think what is it? GSW is at I think plus 300. Or 350.
I have not looked at the odds.
That's what I saw.
I've just
that's what SportsCenter had up.
Yeah, I've heard on different sports shows that no one. I don't think anyone's picked
Toronto to win. I doubt it. They're plus 250. What you call is plus.
And I don't like that because when Stephen A is egregiously wrong most of the time, and he even has us winning like 5.
You don't want that.
Yeah, no.
And in real talk, when it's like this, when it's swayed all the way towards one team. Man,
I give Toronto one game for the one reason, and that's because they have experienced players on their team. Kawhi Leonard has been there.
Yeah.
Danny Green has been there.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry's been around a long time.
Yeah. Don't forget
Marc
Gasol.
And I have to make a shout out to my cousin's godson, Pat McCall.
Yeah.
Who's also on that squad.
Yeah.
He just won a championship the year before.
Yeah.
And now he's on another championship squad, so I'm happy for him.
You talking about Damon?
Yeah, Damon.
I just was talking to him today. That's his cousin, everybody. Why was I talking to him? He said that his, and matter of fact, I want to have this man's going to be on the podcast in the upcoming weeks. He said that his son is really close with Pat.
Yeah,
they went to a regular season Toronto game. I was like, bro, you drove to Toronto from St. Louis? Oh, ain't nothing but a 12-hour drive. What the what? What? And then he said, look, here's the craziest part.
You got to cross over the border.
That's a lot closer than I thought.
Yeah,
I want to go to Toronto. I want to go to a Raptors game.
I thought it was farther. Yeah, he goes up to Detroit. He goes up to Detroit to get the Canada bridge. I thought he would go New York and then go. You know what I'm saying?
That's going through, coming back to Florida.
Yeah,
go straight to Detroit. I used to live in Ypsilanti, man, so I know it's right across the border.
What?
That's in Detroit. That's like a county. Like St. Charles, St. Louis,
sound like some-
Ypsilanti, Detroit.
Eminem mentions
It
that.
sounds
on
like an
some of his
STD, bro. I don't want Ypsilanti. That shit is making my shit hurt. I don't want no Ypsilanti. Are you
I
crazy?
used to North County, Detroit.
Now,
Oh,
now
I know
I
that
want
was
to go.
rough.
Yeah, bro, I was on
So-
there like 3
So what
3
Raptors?
months.
What
Ooh.
Raptors game did he go to?
He went to, it was a regular season Raptors game, and I just talked to him today about being on the show and stuff. He said that he's waiting for Patrick to hit his son back because they go in the game too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And that fool ain't told me that. Okay. I'm
Bruh,
gonna
but
hit
he
him
don't
up
know
now.
yet. He don't know yet, so
Okay.
he's trying to see. But man,
That's dope.
I
though.
pray he go because I want them stories.
I know. That's
Shit,
dope.
I want him on the show.
And that's an experience.
Dude,
too.
his son is cool with Patrick. That's dope.
Yeah.
You know, so shout out to Patrick. I hope
Pat
Patrick gets some
McCall.
clock.
So
'cause he ain't
that's
got
why I
nothing.
give them one game for them 4 players that got that experience and they got
So-
championship
I
experience.
also forgot about Gasol though. Gasol got some
Oh,
too.
doggone! I forgot
Yeah,
he was in
yeah.
there.
Gasol's cold blooded.
I'm gonna put my conspiracy hat on.
Oh, go ahead.
and make
I see
my
you put
case
it-
and make my case for Toronto. After watching last week's episode of Game of Thrones, I
Oh,
realized
God,
something.
don't bring up that show.
The world
You're not a
loves
Game of Thrones?
a
I
great
don't got time for that
story.
shit.
The
Hey.
world
Time for that
loves
bad.
a great story.
I'm upset with that. I know
And
we
you know,
can't talk
and you
about
know what
it.
a great
I
story
watch
would
old
be
ass
this year?
Sopranos before Game of Thrones.
A great
Sopranos still
story
killing that shit.
is a franchise that's suffered through ups and downs,
The Starks.
turmoil, seeing Vince Carter trade away,
Yeah. The
multiple
Starks.
franchises leave. The North.
The
The
North,
North
and the
remembers.
Starks
We the
remember.
North.
And you know what happens? I think the refs are going to give Toronto a couple of gimme calls. I think free throws, these are all going to be close games. Free throws are going to
You
sway.
think they're going to be close?
I think
Yeah.
it's going to be
Oh,
close.
yeah,
I think the
so.
ability for
Maybe
the
not all of them,
referees,
but I
the
think it's gonna be some
NBA
close games.
to influence these little bounces here and there.
Right.
I think maybe they help out Toronto a little more because honestly, isn't the world a little tired of seeing the Warriors run rampant? Does it
kinda
make
am.
it better? Like what I love about equality
You know,
is that
they're
the
good, though.
court equalizes talent. Team is better than merit.
Mhm.
Okay, the
I agree with
ability
that.
of an individual is outweighed by a team in sports, and I see
Right.
Toronto as this just
But they're more of
very
an individual
cohesive unit.
than Golden State is, though.
Are they?
Say that
They're
again, say that
running
again.
it.
They're
They're
more
running
of an
it through
individual
Kawhi.
than Golden State is.
But
Oh,
as a
I see what you're
team,
saying.
just like Michael Jordan and the Bulls in 91, 93, they bought into this concept that it's running through Michael. It's running through Kawhi.
Well, here's
That's
a
why.
good
That's why he
question
has
then.
such a high true shooting
How
percentage.
successful do you think Toronto will be when Kawhi has to take a rest and he has to sit down on the bench?
They still were able to score on the court.
Against Milwaukee that had nothing but rookies that were unprepared
Can we
for a
s-
championship
can-
game.
Okay,
I'm
slow
getting
down
For a
on.
championship finals.
I'm getting ready to see this happen. When Draymond Green goes to the bench, Kawhi Leonard goes to the bench. When Draymond Green comes into the game, Kawhi hopping up. coming right
and I
Why
can
is
see
not
that happen.
guarding Draymond?
No,
Draymond-
it's not
Draymond's
about guarding
gonna-
Draymond. It's about
put
him resting when
controlling the
Draymond
game.
rests.
It's about controlling the game because not only does Kawhi score,
Uh-huh.
Kawhi controlled the game in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Philadelphia series.
Yeah.
He controlled the game,
Yeah.
especially in the Milwaukee series. He
Right.
controlled the game.
Right.
That's what Draymond does.
Yeah.
Excuse me. His control of the game
Mm-hmm.
is what allows Curry and Clay to direct the flow. You know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Draymond, like I said,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
that
yeah,
fuel, he's that
yeah.
energy.
He
And
is.
when that guy's pushing the ball up the court, their defense is like, oh crap, where is Clay? Oh shit, where is Curry?
Right,
We got to
right,
find those
right.
guys. Forget Dre. Now you see Dre's taking it all the way to the hole, and he's
Yeah.
either dishing it or he's dunking on
Yeah,
somebody.
or he's laying it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I get that. He is the engine. But the thing I don't want to do not. Everybody wants to now. What's the word I'm looking for? Almost kind of
In reference to which team?
to Milwaukee. Everybody wants to put Milwaukee down now. Like Milwaukee was nothing. Everyone forgets it was Game 3 went in the
61
double
wins.
overtime. I mean, if the ball fell the right way, they're up 3-0. You know what I'm saying?
agree.
They're up 3-0, and we're all on Giannis's day.
we
I
could
don't
we
think
could be
so, man.
just as
What do you
easily
mean?
talking about Embiid right now. Really?
No, because
No,
that
they were
Philly
close.
team was not gonna. That was a lucky shot that Kawhi hit to knock them out the series.
But they still would have won that game.
They would have won that game and that series. That's like saying, oh, OKC had a chance. They didn't. You know what I'm saying? They didn't. And I picked their ass too.
I still believe Philly would have lost that game. They would
They
have found
definitely would.
some way to lose that game.
Now, see, you can make that, a bunch of, young players and not experienced. And you can make that argument with Philly. I don't think you could have
can
made
make
it
the
with
same-
Milwaukee.
yes, you can.
You can to a certain extent because, of course, they didn't make it. Now you can.
No.
And you
Not
could-
just because they couldn't make it. I think it's because people don't realize. You have to realize the pressure
Yeah.
of the finals.
Yeah, and none of them had. None of them were in that Eastern Conference. But look at though, none of them had been in the conference finals. Nobody at that point. I don't think Brooke Lopez. No, hell no. None of them. None of them.
The whole squad, bro.
Right. Nobody had been in the conference finals. But they still found a way to win 2 games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they were at home, but they found a way to win 2 games and damn near won a third. So I just don't want everyone to belittle Giannis in Milwaukee right now because I didn't hear anybody say it's going to be GSW in Toronto. Everybody and their mama said, "Well, how is the Warriors going to deal with Giannis? How they going to stop Giannis? How they going to stop those shooters in the corner? How Giannis is this? Whoa, you know what I'm saying? That's all I heard. Now we want to act like he ain't shit."
The Bucks had a lot of cats that did not show up, man.
At all.
Middleton, you might as well instead of the middle, he was in the back,
way back,
way in the back.
Told you slow ass Paul Pierce.
Backton, he was. I like that. Your poor man Paul Pierce.
Didn't I say that? No, I said slow Paul Pierce.
He was non-existent for that series.
No, I tell you who was really non-existent was a point guard, Eric Bledsoe. Was nowhere to be fucking found.
And he was also another that sucked.
Dude,
they also made some.
He pulled a vanishing act.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Bledsoe and Brogdon did not play well. Neither did George Hill. None of those cats really played well after game 2.
Yeah,
they're not good role players. And they're not good road players.
I still think something happened behind the scenes after they went up 2 games that just messed with the player's psyche. It was a completely different team in game 3.
Yeah. Who messed with whose psyche?
Milwaukee.
When they went up 2-0?
Yeah, after they got up 2-0.
You think they started believing the hype?
Maybe they got too into the hype, dude. It just I don't know. It
was a lot of hype for their ass. Oh my God. I mean, the series was over. Like the series was literally nobody had Toronto doing nothing, and look what the hell, 4 straight wins.
4 straight, dude.
4 straight.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of when Dallas played Miami in 2006. Shaq's first year with Miami.
Yeah.
Everybody was saying, "Oh, Dallas is going to sweep Miami."
Oh man,
then
you just hit a soft spot for this
Dwayne Wade.
Huge Maverick fan. Keep going.
Dwayne Wade all of a sudden said, "You know what?
How about all those free throws he made, huh?"
And they did.
Yeah. He got a lot of damn free throws.
Man,
but
free
you
throws.
got to give it to him. No, he was pushing the ball and he was forcing the action.
Hey, I'm going to take my hat off to him. You got to make the free throw.
You got to make the free throw.
The ref can sure help you try and win the game, but you still got to make the shot.
But game 3 was what switched for them because Dallas almost won game 3. Remember, Dirk missed that layup. You can't blame it completely on Dwayne Wade. Dallas was up 1.
Yeah.
They had the ball. Yeah. I think Dirk missed the layup. He was probably
Dirk wasn't ready yet either.
Yeah.
He was fouled.
He really wasn't.
But he still missed that layup.
I think, and another problem with Dirk in that series, and I think that's what made y'all lose. He did not take the ball on the block, and they kept saying, "Take the ball on the block." We know you got a jumper, bro, but you got to go to the block too.
He did that against.
But he did it in
LeBron.
2011. He did it in 2011 against Miami, and then they won. You know what I'm saying? But I remember that
he did have better help though. He had a better point guard.
He did.
Yeah, Jason Kidd was there.
Jason Kidd, that was a way better team.
And then they had
LeBron was still developing as a player at this point. We really forget about this.
Developing.
No.
Miami?
Okay, it's very well documented.
You're not.
JJ Barea, Mr. 5'7".
Dude, he would not back down
LeBron.
JJ Barea.
He shut LeBron down in that finals. That was
6'8",
Rick Carlisle's secret weapon is a 5'7" Puerto Rican guy against LeBron.
Feisty,
and you know what? But you know what? LeBron. But this is the thing about LeBron
Baby
James.
Logan.
He looked at all that tape. He got frustrated as hell, and he said, "That shit ain't never happening again to me."
But no, it did though. You know when it happened to him?
When did he?
Against Kawhi when they were the Spurs. When he was at the free throw line.
Kawhi.
When he was at the free throw line.
Before that though, remember he heard him say. Remember he had to be.
They were hot. Ooh, it was hot. It's hot in here. It was so hot. But no. What I'm talking about. But remember that series, y'all? Remember that series? I literally just saw this on Twitter a few weeks ago. He was at the free throw line, and the caption said, "Never forget that Kawhi scared the something out of the greatest player in the game." LeBron is taking a free throw. He sees Kawhi about to check back in. He turns around, looks at Kawhi.
I remember that.
He turns around, looks at Kawhi, and then look back at the hoop like, "Oh, damn!" Like this dude, he gave him that work. So that is why, and I believe in Marshall's take of those early '90s Bulls teams. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, everything goes through Jordan. and we'll play our part, and he will get us the ball when we had to. But Michael didn't hit that last shot in '93 against the Suns. John Paxson did. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you,
same 90.
Kyle Lowry can hit that shot now. I've seen him do it.
Kyle Lowry can't hit that shot.
I
have no confidence in Kyle Lowry.
Okay, I would have been with you before that series, but he played his ass off. You got to give Kyle some props, man.
I'm not yet. He failed too many times against LeBron.
I hear you.
Do it yet,
I give him some props. I want to see. Yeah. We got to see him do it against y'all.
Here's an important question: is DeRozan? Is there that big of a difference between DeRozan and Leonard? That Leonard was able to do what DeRozan couldn't do when they had the same position?
You're going to make me come over and smack.
I'm just saying,
DeMar DeRozan is an all-star. Kawhi Leonard is a superstar.
Hey, thank you, Mr.
So
thank you. Thank you, Master.
These things go like this, all right? You are...
He is correct.
You're an NBA player. You're an all-star. Then you're a superstar. Yep. And then you're all NBA.
So you're saying that there's a big gap then?
You know there's a big gap. Why would you even make that comparison?
Well,
because they had a better record with DeRozan.
Last year? No, I think this record.
Not just this year. I mean, they only won 58 games.
They had a better record this year with Kawhi than they did last year. Actually, shout out to Marco. He worked at Capri Sun. You owe me some money because remember we bet on this. We bet on this last year. At the end, I told you that they would be better. Toronto would be better when they got rid of DeRozan and got
pay him his money.
Marco, where my 20? Anyway,
give me the money, cat.
Yeah, bro. Like you really don't even make. Come on.
So the real challenge for Golden State is going to be managing the minutes of their players. They have when I talk about a thin bench.
That's not the.
I'm talking about this. Steve Kerr has zero confidence in his bench. Each one of his bench, the only bench player that played more than 15 minutes is a guy by the name of Sean Livingston. We all know that's a quality player right there. We know why he's getting those minutes. That is a quality vet right there. But when you're
measure up the starting five against the starting five, then.
It's not just the starting five, but like when you look at Toronto, Toronto has this same issue, except they only have one player who played less than 15 minutes in their their most recent victory over the Bucks, and that was Danny Green at 14 minutes. Every other player for Toronto played 17 minutes or more.
Yeah. Go through those players though, and so I want to see their experience.
And I'll be honest with you, Marshall. I think
see their experience.
I think
Marc Gasol, he was famously traded to Memphis by the Lakers.
That's going to be more of a problem for Golden State than Toronto. No, I'm sorry. More of a problem for
Marc
Toronto
Gasol,
than Golden State.
Because if we put Marc Gasol in the game, then we're going to have Bogut in the game.
No.
Marc Gasol's not that mobile that he can get.
All I'm saying, what he said about the benches, it's going to be more of a problem for Toronto as opposed to GSW. They know what to do.
Oh yeah,
they know what they're doing, and their bench will figure it out. Toronto, though, yeah.
See, looking at these minutes, I think Kevon Looney is also very underrated by a lot of us.
He's going to start. He's going to start
that dude
Thursday.
Him and
because he balled out.
I think he starts against Marc Gasol. Yeah, I think that's the starting lineup.
Right.
Curry, Clay, Draymond,
Iguodala.
I would put your center. You just got back on him.
You put Bogut.
Yeah, I put Bogut on him. Why not? They both about the same speed.
Looney's more active though.
Bogut is very close to being washed. Right. We're talking about a player who was all defensive Australian league.
That's true. Yeah, you're not going to start him. Yeah,
but right.
Yeah,
he didn't play in the NBA this season.
Not only will Looney be able to score, he's going to put Gasol in foul trouble.
He can't.
And that's going to help us.
He can't score on his own. He can only score in the paint. He can score in the paint.
He was hitting the jump shot. You see the jump shot against Portland?
He can't create his own shot. He
doesn't have to create his own shot. When you got two people watching where Clay and Curry is all the time.
Well, yeah, he may be.
All his jump shots were open.
But I think you put Bogut on Gasol from the start. The reason why was that?
What's that?
What are you pointing to? 28. Oh, you pointing to the time? Oh, yeah, we're good. Oh, we're good on time. The reason why you put Bogut on Gasol is dude, we can fuck up. We're in the podcast. Shit is still dope. But anyway,
I know. I'm like,
right. You give me secret messages and shit. Like, what the fuck? The whole time I've been trying to tell this dude, hey, bring your mouth back some. Like, remember what Boston told you? Fist away. You're like, dude. But anyway,
wow.
Gasol will be out there with Bogut. Bogut will try to keep up with him. Gasol gets sick of running around because he's kind of, he's not as fast as he used to be, not as in shape. Then you bring Looney in to really run him, and he won't be able to keep up. You know what I'm saying? Then they're going to have to sub their guy. That's what I would do with that. But
either way will work.
I kind of want to do what he said, like a back-to-back, like against the lineup.
Yeah, to
you want
line
to do
it
that?
up to see, because especially the bench, because I want to see.
Now I know why he was showing me the time. Yeah, now I know why you were showing me the time.
So you're looking at Pascal Siakam, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Gasol at center, Kyle Lowry, and Danny Green were the starters in the most recent game. But remember, Danny Green only played 14 minutes. Fred VanVleet was the main guard in that lineup.
Because that brother,
okay, he got super hot, and they're like, all right, we're bringing him
He need
in.
to have a child every game, if that was
He
possible.
do though.
And then you're looking at Golden State, starting Draymond Green, Alex McKinney, Jamie Bell, Steph Curry.
Who the hell is Alex McKinney?
McKinney, he's the guy that came from he was in the G League and then he was overseas and then
he played his
turned into-
ass off against Portland in that closeout.
Exactly.
It looks like Kevon Looney took most of the minutes from Bell, playing 29 minutes to Bell's 14.
Okay. And
So,
Bell's
they started the game with Bell, and they brought Kevon Looney in for energy, and they kept riding that energy.
So do you think Nick Nurse is going to
Bogut played 9 minutes.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
What about Nurse?
you think Nick Nurse is going to use McCall for that experience?
I hope he does. I hope he's going to have to go into that bench.
Because who was the guy that was hitting the threes for Toronto Sunday night? Was that Sunday night that they beat?
VanVleet?
There was another guy that was coming off the bench.
Oh, Powell. Powell's pretty good. Powell's pretty good.
So I think, do you think he'll probably take more than minutes than McCall?
I'll be honest with you. I think Nurse should go down that bench some more. He's got good players on the bench. He's got Jody Meeks, who I think is good. He's got Lynn, who's somewhat solid.
Knows that
you know what I'm saying? He's got McCall. He's got good players on that bench. Yeah, I play Jody Meeks. I've been a fan of Jody Meeks since Kentucky.
But Jody Meeks has he played any in the playoffs?
I don't think so.
I think he played like 2 minutes total
out of all. Guess what? He's fresh. He's fresh. He's ready to go.
One thing that scares me about Golden State, though, is that they can go 30% from the 3-point line in a game and still win. Like, there's a certain amount.
Man.
Like
you Golden State.
You look at this and they're like, "Oh, the 3-point shot's so important." I mean, I really think Houston overvalues the three to a certain extent. Look, the Golden State Warriors got 30. They got 36 points out of 119 from the 3-point line.
Wow.
Right, that's not a lot.
Yeah, that's not really
at all.
Yeah,
36 out of 119.
That's 12 threes.
Portland, but see, here's the thing. Portland. This is why people love the 3-point line. Portland makes 4 more 3-pointers. 48 of their 117 points came from the 3-point line.
Wow.
And they took 2 more total 3-pointers than the Golden State Warriors, but they made 4 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they talk about basketball efficiency. Once they realize that if you take 10 3-pointers and you make 3 of them, it's better than taking 4 2-pointers, 10 2-pointers and making 4 of them. You shot 30% from 3.
And not just that. This also it builds into the fact that in order to be a very efficient team and a good team like GSW, you got to have good shooters.
Man.
Well,
confident shooters.
Of course.
I mean, well, not just good shooters, the best shooters.
Confident shooters, and know that if you miss, keep shooting.
Shooters.
But for
Clay
real, though,
and Curry are
efficiency,
the best shooters.
Efficiency is really
and they're efficient.
Is the most valued thing maybe in the world right now.
And
which
also,
is why I brought something here today I'd love to talk to you about.
Oh, yes.
It's called the Otto by the Banana Brothers.
I know.
Oh, the great. Would you hand it to me?
I want to. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if we got enough time. We only got I don't know if we got enough time to get into it.
This is the thing about this. I bought this thing for $100 off the website from vapenation.com. Shout out. And here's the thing. You got to understand. I bought this because the review said, honestly, the only problem is it works too well.
Yeah, that thing
is
just
too good.
But here's
and I want you to.
Slow down. It's my show, nigga. Damn, slow down. Hey, I'm taking over the show. I wasn't done with basketball. Can I run the show, please?
Sorry, buddy. It's already done, by the way.
I know.
Efficiency.
The thing is as efficient as your mouth. What is it? Oh man, I lost my damn point. Oh, this is something I want to touch on this. Why? And I got him here, so I want to ask him this. I know he knows, and I heard a little bit about it. But why are y'all leaving Oakland? Why are they leaving Oakland?
Wow.
Is it gentrification? Because I think so. Like what the hell?
That could probably be the underlining,
right, dude?
Community reason.
Mm-hmm.
But they say it's because the building is too old. They've outgrown the building because of the success of Golden State, and they're moving to a place that's bigger where it's better for everyone to come to San Jose and watch the game.
Okay, first off, that's bullshit.
I do think it's bullshit.
Dude, I remember when Monte was still on the team, and I will never forget this. If somebody thinks I'm wrong, you hit me up on Twitter, Oh the Great. Hit me up on High Off the Glass Instagram. Hit me up on Oh the Great on Instagram. I remember watching on NBA TV before y'all won a chip when Monte was still the star. Remember when the owner was on, Chris Muller was being honored.
Yeah,
and the owner was there on the mic. They booed the shit out the owner. Like, they booed him so hard. Like, it was ridiculous. It's because he got rid of Monte. You know what I'm saying? So they went off on him. And then I think it was that time that was a halftime or the end of a game where they honored Chris Mullin. And then I think about a week later, 2 weeks later, they were outside and talking about how they're going to open up a new facility in San Francisco. This is before a championship. What? Why? Like, what? Why'd you have to leave? Like, poor Oakland. They about to lose their football team and basketball team. What the shit is that?
We're from St. Louis, and we have a unique perspective on this.
Very unique.
The Rams Stadium.
We've been through it.
If you went there today, the last 2 years that they played, that stadium is out of date.
Yeah.
It is terrible. When you go into a facility like that that's not modern.
It's not even that old, though.
The
dome is not that old.
It is almost a tragedy. Because, this is part of the reason I don't like the Dallas Cowboys. They ruined stadiums. They ruined stadiums for the rest of America.
I forgot about that.
Jerry Jones, multi-billionaire, builds this castle.
That's his team.
Did he just say that?
Talking mischief. That's
blasphemy.
his team. That's his team.
Blasphemy.
And I grew up in Dallas in the 90s when they were winning all those championships.
You said
they were my team. They were my team in the 90s.
This year.
Past Super Bowl team.
They were my team in the 90s.
Cheated.
They are not.
The Rams cheated us.
No. Jesus, why did this get bro? Okay. This is the NBA Finals preview. We're not going to go into that. I gotta bring you. Yeah, we got to bring you back to do a football.
What?
Preview. Matter of fact, that's it. We're going to do an NFL football preview. You coming back for that?
You know, like the Cowboys.
We got to do it during the preseason.
We got to do that. We got to do
that.
They
run my money, folks. You see that star?
You got the camera
for the
right
viewers
there.
at home. He's got a Dallas Cowboys Bank of America card.
That's sad. You got the star on his credit card. John.
Yes,
that's sad.
I'm not just a fan. It's a way of life. For the Cowboys.
It's a way of life, but you also quit the team for 3 years. But okay.
No. It was it's just like a marriage. Sometimes you go through ups and downs, and you say I'm through with this bitch.
I've never quit none of my teams. I've never quit any of them.
And then you get back together.
I hate on them for a while, but I stay with their ass.
Now it's even better.
Yeah, you're gonna quit them again.
Never. Yeah. It's never happening again.
Get another Gregory on your team. You're quitting.
One of my big inspirations in life is David Jacoby.
I was just listening to him.
And he's a fair weather bandwagon hopping fan.
He is?
Wow. Oh, he loves being on the bandwagon. Whenever any team gets good, now that's his favorite team.
Wow.
And ride it until it stinks.
Okay, that's crazy.
And as soon as they lose, hop on a new one.
All right. Well, look, I did want to touch on this before we take off, because this is the Basketball Marijuana Podcast. My Master of Mischief has he's so excited about it, y'all. He wanted to jump to it before you were done with basketball. He has this contraption.
And I'm wondering what it is.
Yes, let's break it down to the uninitiated.
Yeah,
the uninitiated over here.
That's me.
It's a contraption. It's made by Banana Brothers, and go ahead, take it away.
Well, it's made by the Banana Brothers. It only has one button on it.
I think it's dope.
So basically, you push the button, and what the button is going to do?
Open it up. Show them.
It's going to activate this grinding mechanism in here.
That's called a grinder.
Okay, and so what you do is you take your product and you put it right in here.
It grinds it up.
And you add one of these.
Yep.
And it rolls it for you?
Yes.
Very handy, dandy. Look at this. It is a handy dandy pre-rolled cone paper.
Dude,
so what you do.
I can't wait to smoke that after the show. Real straight up, dog.
What you do is you have to be a little careful.
Look at that.
But it comes out real fast.
That thing is so sick. Look at that. Perfectly
bada
good,
bing,
everybody. You guys see
bada
that?
boom.
How dope is that?
It literally takes less than a minute.
Wow.
The only thing about the whole process I don't really enjoy.
What? Is it messy?
It's just too good.
It
It literally is so good.
There's no flaws.
Yeah. Dude, it blows so clean from those raw papers. Like you could taste the cannabis so a lot of people who smoke swishers and in backwoods and all that shit, they don't.
I know what swishers are.
Exactly. You better with your old ass. What is it?
Now.
But when you hit those though, you don't get it. You don't get the cannabis. You don't get the taste of the marijuana. This you actually get it. And other things I smoke, high hemps, you get to taste your marijuana. It doesn't get clouded by all that tobacco crap.
Okay.
Because that tobacco, all that does is just fuck up your system and then make you want more tobacco.
Make you want more tobacco.
Yeah,
not the actual natural stuff.
This is so clean.
You can pick you up your very own automatic joint roller at any smoke shop near you that is quality and worth a darn.
They sell it.
AJR.
Places I love that I've seen.
There you go.
Places
Like
that I've
the
seen
acronym.
the auto in stock in St. Louis include, but are not limited
Let me
to,
check this out.
Sunshine Daydream
Okay.
on Gravois and
Okay.
Mr. Nice Guy on Delmar.
Nice. I thought you had to get
I
it
hope you
offline.
I also hope you check out the Otto Banana Brothers Grinder at the Smoke Emporium over in the Delmar Loop, one of my favorite places.
That's
I
what's
like
up.
this. When I
That's what's
start, when I turn 50, when I start my my hemp revival, I'm
Oh,
gonna have that.
what? Huh? Speak on that. What is that? Hemp revival.
My hemp's process.
Mm.
Yeah,
Are you trying to cultivate, sir?
cultivating all that.
Oh, for real?
That's where the money's gonna be.
Oh,
The
yes.
next couple of years, marijuana,
Yes.
the product, cannabis,
Yes.
all of that
Yes.
is going to be something you can get. If you've been to Colorado before,
Yeah,
they sell it. It's in a gas station.
Mr. Michael, it's here now.
Okay.
Yeah, we were
Not
going
in the gas station.
It's
bro.
in the airport.
Yeah, we were going to.
They have special trash cans set up so you can throw away your weed.
They do?
And when you're in the airport.
Hell no, that's crazy.
Straight.
Wow, I wish I knew where that trash can was.
Wow.
Come scoop all that shit. I wish we're going to talk about it probably in the next episode or the episode down the road. But this man is currently in the process of retaining a license to cultivate and to get a medical card and bonbons and all that good shit. So I'm excited about it.
That's what's up.
Why'd you give me this?
And I think
time.
The same
people do
reason
not-
I gave it. The
you're
same
right.
reason I gave it to you a little while ago. It's like there's a theme on the show where I have to remind Omar
People
that we can
don't
only
realize-
record for an hour to an hour and a half
This is-
every time, and the conversation gets so good. The time
And that's the
flies
thing.
It's
I
so
really enjoy
fast.
myself, man. I mean,
Thank you for coming by.
I enjoy it.
Right
Marshall,
on.
what's up?
Rodney,
Even though you don't like
I
my
can't wait. I
Cowboys,
can't wait
man.
to hear your album, Dichotome,
That's the new
on
one.
Spotify,
That's right.
The first
iTunes.
one, more
and
is
more.
on. More is on Spotify,
More is on
iTunes,
Spotify,
Amazon
iTunes.
Music.
And when will
Pandora.
Dichotome be available on some of these
By
platforms?
June 16th.
Awesome.
Well, that's a Sunday,
June
so June
16th.
17th.
June 17th is the release
Yeah.
date.
Well, the release date is going to be the 14th, but they say after that weekend, you just wait till that Monday and it'll be ready. So.
Can you? So
Awesome.
you have to wait till then to stream it. You can't stream it now.
You can't
Okay.
stream it now.
Dichotome.
It's not set up yet.
Dichotome. Everybody, check it out, please. Please
And
check
it's
it out.
spelled with the last two letters are M-E, not M-Y. The
Yes.
correct spelling is dichotomy is M-Y, but I
it's
changed it for
Dichotome.
M-E. And it's not just to reflect me, it's to reflect you as you listen, because everyone has that good and that bad side inside of them,
Yes.
and they need to. And it's up to you. You can choose which way you want to go.
That sounds
I have
good.
a different philosophy on that, man. I think I
Rodney.
think people put a lot of power into the devil. It's not so much the devil; it's you.
Right.
You
right,
control
right.
what you want to do, people.
Yep, that's true.
I hope you
I love
stay
it.
safe next February 22nd, my friend.
I know.
Oh, right. You ain't lying. I don't like that date.
That week.
That date sucks. Well, look here, Mr. Michael, Mr. Rodney Michael, Mr. Master
Thank
of
you.
Mischief, Marshall White. Thank
There he
you
is.
for coming through again. I just want to say thank you guys. You guys made this fun. This has been really
Man,
good.
I
is really
enjoyed
good.
this.
This is really good. So good.
Yes,
I
sir.
enjoyed it.
Let's bash.
I want to. You keep leaving him hanging.
I know. Every time.
I'm so bad at looking to my left.
I'm
What
gonna,
is this?
Oh, okay. I'll forgive you for that.
I'm gonna end the show
You my man.
the same way I always do, with yet another reason why St. Louis, Missouri needs a basketball team. Reason number, what episode?
Before you get into that, it's been an hour already.
Oh, dude, it's past. It's like 101. An hour and a minute.
You are kidding
Yes,
me.
sir. Time flies when you're having fun. This how it
Time
goes.
is relative.
This is called this is the glass
Time
court.
is relative.
When we do high off the glass, this is the glass court. Time does not exist on the glass court, dude.
I cannot believe it's been an hour.
Straight
dude.
up, bro. We could do another two. You know it. But look, I'm here for reason number. Was it episode 4? Reason number 4 why St. Louis needs a NBA team. The reason is because this is a sports town. This is a sports town. It's always been a sports town. We used to have 2 baseball teams before.
Right.
We've always had a thriving a baseball team. Always had a thriving hockey team. They're also in the Stanley Cup this year. Cannot believe it.
Let's go Blues.
Right. Let's go Blues. Even though I may have to give you $40.
You will. Bruins. Let's go Bruins. Even though I like both teams, but let's go Bruins anyway. So yes, we are a thriving sports town in St. Louis. We need something else to complete that, and the cherry on top would be what a NBA team.
We had one before.
Yes, we
you
did.
mention that? The St. Louis Hawks.
Of course. You know I did.
Bob Cousy.
Yeah, Mr.
Right.
Mr. didn't listen to the other episodes. I could tell.
Oh,
What is
I forgot. You're right. My fault.
Bob Cousy. What you done? Bob Cousy never played for no.
Wait,
Yes,
who was the
St.
player
Louis
that
Hawks.
played for
It's
the
Bob
Hawks?
Cousy.
Bob Pennant.
Bob Pettit. I'm sorry. Bob Cousy was
Boston.
Celtic.
Boston,
Legendary
yeah.
Celtic
Celtics
player.
Bob
Yeah,
Pettit.
Celtic
But,
point guard for life. I'm sorry.
Exactly. No, you're good. It's easier.
I might be a little too high off the glass.
There's another Celtic that also played for St. Louis Hawks, JoJo White,
When did he play for the Hawks?
1951.
No, JoJo got drafted by us in Boston.
Can we erase that little segment I just said? Is that just stuck in? That's just
What? What's
what I
that?
just said about JoJo White. Can we
Yeah.
filter that out?
No, that's gonna be. That is not.
That's in there. Hey,
Yeah, your mistake
forget
will be
that.
in there.
Damn.
Never play for no damn Hawks. What the fuck?
Forget
In
that.
Atlanta or
Forget
St.
that.
Louis?
I know.
But
Hey, that was the other side of me. Dichotomy.
We always
the wrong side.
Damn.
We try and get everything right here, and when we mess up, we always try and correct ourselves. The last time I was here, I talked about Garrison Randolph Hearst and his literal, this is a thing that really happened.
Yeah.
He created a name
Cheers.
for what this is. It's not this isn't marijuana.
Gonna get
It's
into it again.
cannabis indica.
Okay.
At his time, when William Randolph Hearst lived, this was just called cannabis. That's
Okay.
just what it was.
Wow.
And I spent 10 minutes talking about Garrison Randolph Hearst.
Can
He
you
thought
not
I was
spend
talking
another
about
10 minutes?
He thought I was talking about the 49ers running back.
Please don't
I
talk
did,
about
I
that
did.
dude.
Right. He was a shit though.
Or the
But
40.
was such a hero.
I
That's
can't
Jack's homie.
I can't even say that
Jack's homie.
number.
But yes, if anyone wants to know about that conversation that we had about that Hearst guy, check out episode 1. But yes,
But we try and correct ourselves when
We
we
do.
learn.
We try.
We always try and
Yeah.
learn.
We don't
Yeah.
give a shit, but we still love y'all.
Please scratch that JoJo White comment out of this.
Yeah, D's not doing it. For my awesome producer, Marcus Boston, for Rodney Michael, for Master of Mischief, Marshall White, I am O the Great. Thank you for joining us. You guys be safe and, man, continue hooping. Peace.
I get high on your memory.